Thank you for joining us for Higher Realm Channeling. Give us just a minute and we're going to step aside. Welcome, my children. I wish to talk to you today about a subject that maybe you don't understand. The subject is persistence and how important that is for you in your life. Excuse me, as I am not used to doing this and my words are not working. Some of you that are listening to this today find that you quit too quickly. Some of you that are listening today stay too long. It is both. So when you are looking at persistence, you must also realize that there comes a point where it is no longer beneficial. But you must discern the difference between these two. So you have persistence. When you are on the spiritual path, there are many times you wish to quit, or even on your earth plane. There are many times you wish to end it, quit, be done, whatever the task is. But it is not time for you to quit. So you must stay focused and continue doing what you are guided to do and what you know is right. For many of you, when it gets tough, you quit. You say, enough, I'm done. I don't want that anymore. It's too hard. What is the word that you use? Adulting, you say? That it is too difficult. Please know that this is not true. That you are in a situation that you may need to stay in longer than you wish. So we are not telling you that you always need to cut and run, that you need to stop, that no, if it's not comfortable, don't do it. Because there are times in life where you must do things that are not comfortable. You must continue to be persistent in a situation. Yet, you must have the discernment, because there is also a place and time for you to no longer push the river. Where you do say, I have done this long enough and I do not feel this is where I need to be anymore, and it is time to cut the ties with those I need to. It is time for me to move on to a different position, a different job, a career. It is time for me to change. We call this being resilient. So resilience is unique in that you must be able to let go of what happened, even if you do not understand why. That you must be able to move on to what is next by letting go of what you have held tight. So some of you have stayed in positions where you know every ounce of your being that it is time to leave, but you do not leave. And when you do leave, you regret that you stayed. So resilience is saying, when it is time and you know for sure, not out of fear, not out of frustration, but truly out of timing, and you know it is time to move on, then, only then, with your guidance, go inside and know it is time to move to the next step, the next relationship, the next position, the next job, whatever that is. But have resilience Do not sit and moan and cry over what had happened. Know that it just was, and it is time for you to move forward. So persistence and resilience are actually two sides of the same coin. We want you to see them together. You stay and you do the tough work when it's necessary. And when you are told it is time to move on, you release it and you truly move on. And we say that specifically because some of you, although you physically have moved on from a position or a relationship or a location, you have not mentally moved on. You have mentally held on to what was the past. You have mentally held on to what didn't work. You have mentally held on and made yourself miserable. We do not wish you to be miserable. We want you to stay long enough to complete whatever it is that is in your highest and best, in the relationship, the position, whatever that is, the job, the location. And then when you move on, do it with confidence that it is the right timing and it is in your highest and best. Because it is. When you have received guidance from yourself, from your higher self, from those that guide you, when you receive the guidance that says, okay, it is time to release whatever this is that is with me, weighing me down, holding me back, whatever it is, it's time for the next step, the next level of the game, as has been discussed before. When that happens, we want you to understand that it is imperative that you let go of the past. You let go of what you left. Not just physically that you move or physically you get out of a relationship or you change the job, but that you mentally and emotionally release the past. That is resilience, so that you can be fully present for the next adventure that you're going to go on. So you can be fully present in all that is coming, that you can be fully present in what is next. If part of you is still thinking about the past, part of you are still thinking about what could have been, if part of you are still focused on, did I do the right thing? Did I make the right decision? If part of you are focused on, I should have stayed, maybe this isn't right, then there is no focus on now. The focus must be on now and future. What is next? What is the exciting road ahead? Not what did I miss or what happened. Now please understand, many times those of us who have spoken through these bodies have told you that it is still important to have emotions about things that you leave, things that are no longer serving you, relationships, jobs, what locations, that's fine. You can be sad, but let it flow through. Do not hold tight to what was or what could have been. We want you to think about what is and what is next, for it is beautiful. But you cannot go there holding on to what could have been. You cannot be ready for the next relationship, location, job, guidance. You cannot be fully present in it and feel the joy and excitement of the new if you are constantly holding on to the past. So please hear, you must be persistent. Do not quit before it is time. Stay where you are until you hear clearly that it's time to move on, until the signs are showing you. And then when you know it is time for me to move to what is next, do not hold on to what was or what could have been. For we see the struggles for each of you. We see the internal battle. We see the sadness. We see the grief. And it hurts. We do not wish you to suffer. We wish you to feel the joy we feel being present in the moment and feeling what it is like to be here now. It is beautiful and joyous. We know you must plan for the future. You must periodically think about what was, but do not live there. persist when you need to, and release when you need to. Open up and know that all is in your highest and best. Even if your mind does not understand, even if your mind cannot comprehend why this thing that at the moment does not feel good could be a good thing down the road. Know that it can. And the more present you are right now, the more present you are in the moment, the more in your body, in this time, in this place you are, the happier you will be. For it is those thoughts about, could I have done something different? Could I have changed something? Those keep you stuck and do not allow you to feel the joy that is inside you. You are source. We have said this, all of us have said this many, many times. You are light. You are love. You are compassion. Feel that for this form that you walk in. Feel that for this history that you have. Feel that for yourself, so that you can go through your experience here in this game, on this level, with that joy, with that peace, knowing that you are source. You are connected. Feel that energy flowing inside of you as you connect yourself higher and higher. Feel that energy inside of you as you're more present to every moment. Be persistent and stay the course when needed. But listen to guidance, for change is coming for each of you. Many of you have been through change already. Know that more is ahead. Do not fight. Do not struggle. Allow it to move. Allow it to go. Flow with the change. Release what's holding you back. And you will find life to be more peaceful, more joyful, more of what you are meant to be here as you experience this plane on your planet. Persistence and resilience go together.
It is correct that we do see you on both ends of persistence, those who release it too soon and those who release it too late. And what we want you to understand is that in either of those situations, it is your ego that is persisting, not your soul. Your soul has no need to force anything. And this is generally what we see on this side, is that you are sitting, beating your head upon a brick wall. I will make this happen. I will have this person. I will do this. I will accomplish this. This is not healthy persistence. This is attempting to force your will over the will of Source. When we look at you and we see you cutting and running, as the statement was, too soon, what we actually are seeing is that your ego has come into a place of fear, that it does not understand what the outcome of your persistence will be. Both of these, trying to force your will to be stronger than the will of Source, trying to run from the will of Source by not doing what you're being asked to do, both are fear states. Both are ways that will keep you from flowing with life. It is fine to persist in what you want, But there is, as has been said, there comes a time you must stop. There comes a time you must accept what is as what it is and move on. When you have learned this balance, you will have truly begun to step into that part of you that is building resilience. Resilience is that part that allows you to look not from your ego at what has occurred in your past, because you need no resilience to have occurred in the future. It simply has not occurred yet. But in the past, when you are able to look back at every single thing, and even in the moment as it is occurring, and go, I see that this is in my own best interest, that all of this is moving me towards something I do not yet understand. This, my children, is resilience. This is what we mean when we say you must train your mind, because that is the biggest part of both of these. Both persistence and resilience come into balance when you have mastered your own mind. This does not mean that your mind has shut up. It simply means that you have trained it through practice to go in a different direction than it would normally be taken by your ego. Please understand, your ego runs your mind 99.9999% of the time. It is the one that is showing you the pictures that cause you stress. It is the one that is showing you the pictures that cause you anxiety. It is the one that telling you, if this person is not in my life sucks. It is the one that is telling you that if this job is the way it is, that it really isn't what I want, and I'm trapped, but I have to take care of my family, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. And by the way, your soul has never once told you you had to do anything. It simply suggests you could go this way or you could go this way, and here are the outcomes, and it is up to you which outcome you would prefer. Now, mind you, that does not mean you have free will. That simply means you have a limited choice. You can go this way and experience this outcome, and you can go this way and experience that outcome, but it doesn't give you this panoply of outcomes. It's showing you two, maybe three most times. But as you are moving through life, as you are doing the work that each of you are now doing, as you are looking at those traumas in your life, this is where you need to build resilience. This is where you need to truly begin to look at it as, how did this benefit my awakening? Not growth, not ascension, awakening. How did this help me remember who I am? For that is the awakening. Persist in that which you are being guided to do. Do not allow your ego to make you fearful of what is to come, because it doesn't understand, or it may actually very clearly understand what is coming, and it is, as you awaken, it does not wish this to happen, because as you awaken, your ego loses control. Your ego must step back into its actual role of that as simply a manager of the body and the communication between source and body. That is its true role. It likes to think it's God. It is not. It is simply part of the program. As you are going through these changes, as you are looking at the various, and we use the word trauma very loosely here, we are not talking about just major trauma, but whatever in your life that you have defined as traumatic. We will say this now, how you define trauma, what you define as traumatic, will cause the experience to either be less or great. That's the definition that you will use. That is something within you. As you build the resilience, as you build the ability, as you train your thoughts to look at how each and every instant, each and every event is building you, is reminding you who you are, is taking you closer to awakening, is taking you closer to home, then you will begin to move beyond. So, do not stay too short, do not stay too long. Listen to Source. Connect to Source. Resilience, again, as you connect to Source, as you begin to see through the eyes of Source, you will just begin to see how things are being put together to take you to a next level of remembering who you are. You will begin to naturally flow in this direction, but you must consciously begin to say, how would Source view this situation now? Not how does my ego want it to be, not how do I think it should look, not how do I think it should be or could be, but how is it? And how is this in my own highest and best good? So, move away from labeling things negatively and emotionally. Move to your resilience. It is your strength. Flow with Source.
Resilience is a beautiful word. We wish for you to think of this word deeply inside of you, because think in terms of life. If you do feel that you have been knocked down and you have gotten back up to face the bully again, or that you have been knocked down and gotten up to walk a different path, this is being resilient as well. Being resilient means that you are looking forward. You are looking today. You are not focused on what happened before. You are focused on the beauty around you. You are resilient in the times, even though they might be struggle. Think about those that you know who have been through some of the greatest struggles in their lives, and they come out still smiling. They come out with joy and happiness. And you wonder, how can they do this? How is it that they are able to release what has happened and move on? They have gained the understanding of resilience. They have seen the beauty in being present. They are focused on what is coming instead of what has been. And they do not take what has been and put it on the future to have more fear, as was identified moments ago. When that fear is there and you are looking at the fear of, well, this happened before, it's going to happen again, it causes the flow to not run well. When you are able to have whatever the issue was and be resilient and bounce back up and be able to move forward again with centeredness and peace, you find that life works better. The doors will open that need to open when the time is right. The people will come into your life when it is time for them to come. But only if you can release what has happened in the past and be willing and resilient in your life to look forward and present in yourself to know where you are and who you are. As has been mentioned, there are times to stay the course. There are times where you must continue the fight. You must continue the movement. And yet, there are times to release, to be centered, to let it flow away, and to bounce back with resilience in your space, so that you will go to the next level of your life. As has been mentioned, the levels of the game, that you can continue your own personal evolution. Resilience will help you with this. Releasing what no longer serves you. And knowing you can come back and be fully present to what is happening now. When you are in this space, when you have released and know that it is no longer time to persist and be present and push, and you know that it is time to release and just be, you will find that peace inside of you. And what is amazing and very much against, as was mentioned, your ego and the way that you function, when you are able to do this, the doors will open. The people will come in your path that need to be there. The synchronicities will happen. You will start seeing things and flowing, and the right people and places that you need to be or that show up in your life. But if you continue to hold tight to the wrongs of the past, you continue to hold tight to the things you wish you could change, you continue to hold tight to that is no longer serves you, the new doors will not open, for you are not living fully. Only part of you is here now. And the doors of the future and the doors in your highest and best will remain closed, because you are not ready to release the weights. You are not ready to release what's holding you back and moving forward into what is next. We encourage you to look at the things that you ruminate about, the things that you constantly are processing and thinking too much about, the things that are continuing to flow from the past into your mind, and find ways to release them. You have many, many tools. Use them. The heart breath you have been taught is one. Breathing of any kind is another. Staying present and focused on now in gratitude is another wonderful skill. Utilize all that you know, all that you have, to release what no longer serves you, and do not hold on and try to bring it to the present. And stay centered. For when you are now here, you will find that the next space for you will open. Once again, as has been said, do not force your will. Do not say, I wish to only have that door open for me. That is closing the possibilities of something better. That is closing the possibilities of what Source and your higher self have in store for you. So say, this looks good, but if there is something else that is better in my future, I wish to have that which is in my highest and best. This, or something better, is what we have taught before. Say, this would be nice, but something better is fine as well. Do not take your ego and narrow down what possibilities are lining up for you. Change is coming. Change, for many of you, is already here. Stay and persist when needed. When that is done, release, let go, do not hold on. Be present. Focus on now. And the doors for your future, your beautiful lights, will walk through when they are there and you are ready. Be ready. Find that peace. Do what you need to. Breathe. Visualize. Find that space within you, so you are ready when the next doors open to walk through unencumbered of anything from your past. It is important for the change continues in your life.
We ask that you, in these situations, examine that which is driving your behavior. If you are persisting in something, if you are, and please here, we're going to say something different here and explain momentarily. Persistence overextended leads to resistance. And we will come back to this. When you begin to examine that which is causing you to persist in a behavior or a pattern, it is important that you go within and get clarity of what it is that you are afraid of losing if you no longer persist in this pattern. Is it a fear that you will be looked on as less than because you quit and left? Is it a fear that you yourself will judge yourself for not being capable of continuing on? We would say to you that sometimes continuing on falls under the heading of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. To us, this is stupidity, not insanity, stupidity. Why do you want to continue to repeat the same mistake, the same pattern over and over and over again and never learn? Release. Trust yourself. Let go of the resistance to what is that you have built up by being persistent in demanding it be differently. All human suffering is based in the fact that you have not allowed what is to simply be as it is without your desire or your judgment being overlain on top of it. Let us say that again. All of human suffering is because you have not allowed yourself to accept what is as it is without your judgment, without your desire overlaying it. Simply release and accept. We have said this over and over and over and over for thousands upon thousands of years. Accept what is. Deal with it as it is. This is where your power is. Deal with it right here, right now. This is where your power is, and move forward. Stop the ego games. Stop the ego games. There is no need to be concerned about what someone else will think of you for what you have done, or what you will even think of you for what you have done. You simply are needing to act appropriately in the moment. Act and move forward. Release and move forward. We have talked on many, many occasions with you that life is a game here, and it is. Part of the reason you can accept life as it is without having to put your desires or your judgments on it is the recognition that it is a game. When you are playing a video game, you may have desires, but if the rule of the game says you can only go up and down and left and right, you cannot go diagonally no matter how much you want to or how often you try to. The same is true with your day-to-day life in the game. You have to understand what it is and where you are in the game in order to be able to play it to its highest potential. And this is about recognizing what is. Not persisting in what you want. Not running away because you're afraid that if you have to do this one more time, your goal will not appear. Go to the goal. You will see it. If it is meant for you, if it is what Source has planned, it will absolutely manifest in your lifetimes. Please hear, we did say plural. We make no guarantees about this one or any other individual one, because you are far more than any single life stream. You are Source itself. You are all time. You are all creation. You are all. You are all. As you hold that conscious thought moment by moment and release the desire to have power over a game that does not really exist, you will find the peace of God, the peace of Source within your heart. And this is what we want for you. Once you begin to tap into that peace, once you truly understand that you cannot live your life wrong, that you cannot live your life wrong or right, for that matter, you can only live your life as it is. Right and wrong throw you to judgment. Right and wrong throw you into immobilization many times, because you do not want to make a choice, because you may not have all the data points that you need for that choice. But it is still simply releasing and flowing with what is. Allow what is to be as it is. Then you will open your eye to see all the options around you within that exact moment, because you are no longer controlling that moment, though you never really were, you just thought you were. Open to Source, open to acceptance of all that is as it is. No need to change, no need to improve, no need for anything other than the awareness that all is well and all is always well. We have said these words to you before. We will say them again and again and again. For it is a truth. All is well. All is always well. No matter what the game is showing you, all is well. And we thank you.
And so it is.
So it is.